Campaign 2018 is sponsored by Wisconsin Hospital Association, Wisconsin Counties Association, Wisconsin Realtors Association, Marshfield Clinic Health System, AARP Wisconsin, and Campaign 2018 partner Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
Didn't really have a chance to, fully hear out your ideas here, but it sounds like from what you said tonight, you'd be supportive of a bipartisan, kind of comprehensive solution here. And, as you know, there was a compromise in the works in Congress to legislate DACA protections and up border security. Would you be interested in that kind of trade-off if you're in Congress and, this issue comes up again?
So our immigration system's broken, and what I think we have the opportunity to do is find kind of level heads come together and solve this problem. So I look at it and I think step one is we need to secure the border. The wall's a component of that. After we've secured the border, what we need to do is go through and fix, in particular, our legal immigration system. Our legal immigration system does not properly account for our workforce needs here in the United States. I think there's a real opportunity to improve the legal immigration structure. And then as it relates to DACA, I mean, those are of all the individuals that are here, that's probably one of the most deserving groups. Those are children that were brought here through no fault of their own to the United States. And I think in that plan, we need to make sure that those individuals have the ability to make right with the law.
And do you have confidence that Congress has the ability or the bipartisanship to be able to pass something like this?
I can tell you what I'm going to bring to the table is a push to do that. And so I bring a background of solving problems and looking to determine how do we pull groups of people together to solve some of these challenging problems that we're facing. And so I'm confident that if given the opportunity that I'm going to be a voice to go in there and try to solve that problem.
Okay, I want to completely switch gears here. Randy Bryce in his opening statements talked about the Congressional Leadership Fund's ads. I just wanted to ask you, because this is a theme that he kind of returned to over the course of the debate. Would you say that you're running a positive campaign despite all of the the comments he's making about how it's stooping to a low level, everything's negative?
Yeah, I'm focused on what I control. What I'm doing is putting out a positive message about how we're going to grow the economy and what policies we need to put in place to continue this economic growth that we've seen. And so I'm not focused on all the third-party noise that's out there. I'm focused on what I control. What I control and what I've put out is a positive message about how we're going to continue to grow the economy and make real, true economic strides, and in particular with the ultimate goal, right, where we're starting to see wage increases here in southern Wisconsin. What we want to do is see that continue. We need to put policies in place that allow that to happen.
And then the other issue I wanted to get to, just briefly here, is about healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that's a huge issue in this race and many others on the ballot. But so Bryce tonight brought up Attorney General Schimmel's multi-state lawsuit, Wisconsin's involvement in that, seeking to overturn ultimately the Affordable Care Act. First of all, do you support the lawsuit? And then secondly, if it ultimately does overturn the ACA, what do you think Congress's next step should be?
So lawsuit or not, what we need to do is determine how are we going to lower the cost of health care. That's first and foremost. And what Obamacare has done is driven up the cost of health care. And when you drive up the cost of health care, you make it less affordable and thus less accessible to hardworking families here in southeast Wisconsin. I think what you see then is this false accusation, right, that you can't do one without the other. You can address the problem of the Affordable Care Act and how it's driven up costs, and at the same time protect individuals with pre-existing conditions. And so I've been clear since the beginning. Any plan that goes and changes and lowers the cost of health care to get my vote will also need to make sure it protects individuals with pre-existing conditions.
Okay. On the lawsuit specifically, do you have a position on it?
I look at the lawsuit one way or the other. We need to go in and determine how are we going to lower the cost of health care. That's the paramount question. And so I'll be tracking that lawsuit and see how that plays out. But I'm focused on what I can control. What I can control is pushing for policies that actually lower the cost of health care, making it more affordable and thus more accessible to families here in southeast Wisconsin.
Great, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out on your Friday night.
Of course.
Where are you based at? Are you based in Madison?
Campaign 2018 is sponsored by Wisconsin Hospital Association, Wisconsin Counties Association, Wisconsin Realtors Association, Marshfield Clinic Health System, AARP Wisconsin, and Campaign 2018 partner Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.